We're here with the Clarion Volleyball seniors. Starting to my right, we have Allie Treese, Haley Sintobin, and then on my left, Lexi Lauer and Dorothy Kalinowski. Clarion coming off of yet another fabulous season where they won the District 9 Class 1A title, made it to the quarterfinals of the PIAA playoffs. First of all, ladies, congratulations on another great year for Clarion Volleyball.
Thank you.
Today we're just going to sit down. We're going to reflect not only on the season, but on your guys' careers and some of your favorite memories. Just kind of like just sit down, chat, see what you guys remember most about playing volleyball for Clarion, and the good times, your favorite memories. Dorothy, we're going to start with you.
Okay. Start it out.
You missed all of last season. You had an illness, and it forced you to miss all of last season. Coming back this year and having the success that you did, just first of all, talk about the perseverance that it took to want to continue to work to come back.
Well, I mean, it was definitely a decision that I had to make. I was always asking people, what do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? And it always came back to what I really felt and thought, and that was that I needed to play, and it was the thing that I love most, and I had to do it. And really the work is just something that comes along with it, and you end up loving it instead of hating it, which is so weird because, I mean, who wants to practice for 3 hours a day? But you end up enjoying those times and loving them.
Ladies, how exciting was it to have Dorothy back this year?
It was awesome. We missed her.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It was good to see her play again because we know how much she loved it and missed it last year. So.
Coming into this season, I know expectations are really high, but it had been I don't want to say a while, because a couple of years isn't a while for a district title unless of course you're Clarion Volleyball, but it had been since 2015 since Clarion Volleyball had won a district title. How important of a goal was that for you guys to get back on top?
I think when we won KSACs, we were like, okay, we're one step closer to the title this year, because we knew we haven't won it in 3 years. So I think that motivated us more to play our hardest at going into districts, and we did it.
Yeah.
Was there ever an aha moment that, okay, we have a really good team here and we can do something special?
I would say our AC Valley game. That game was just crazy, it was balls to the walls pretty much. It was crazy, and we just worked so hard, and the feeling whenever we ended up, three sets, and the feeling was just so different. We knew okay, this is what's going to set it. So
the thing that sticks out to me most about that regular season match with AC Valley was that 2 of those sets went to extra points. When you're able to win close matches like that, what does it do for the confidence level of the team?
I'd say it definitely boosts it. Being put in that situation and being able to be the one who steps over and says, I'm going to win this, I'm going to get this, is super important, and it does boost our confidence, because then it reassures you you can do it, you can.
You think back to the first regular season match against Red Bank, and they take the first set against you guys, and again, there's all kinds of expectations. Did you start doubting yourself at all early on when they took that first set, or was it just, hey, let's go?
Yeah, I think we just realized wow, they're not just going to hand us this game. We actually have to put a foot forward and win.
Drive, yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Once you'd beaten Red Bank and AC, and it's still September, and let's be honest, the conference at that point is pretty much yours for the taking. How do you stay focused and make sure that you don't slip up against, say, a Cranberry or somebody like that?
Coach always talks about how we need to stay in tunnel vision, and there was sets in against Cranberry, talking about that, where we did start, letting up, and that's when really you need to start talking to your team and making sure that you focus on one goal, and that's point by point and getting them. So
you go into the playoffs, and you guys hadn't played in, I think, something like 12 days.
Right.
How difficult is that?
Honestly, we had some pretty tough practices in between, and we kept our game up, and some of our hardest play was in our own gym, and so being faced with each other and keeping that play up, I think we did. I think we kept up pretty well.
Elk surprises you guys in that first set. They take that first set. You guys had tried some different lineup things that just didn't seem to take right away. But what about coming back there after losing that first set and then coming back strong in the next three to take that? Talk about the fortitude that it takes to be able to overcome something like that in the playoffs.
I think we started off with a different lineup, and I think when we switched back to our regular lineup, we became more comfortable. Like, we played the game like we've always played.
Then you get AC Valley again. Going into that, what's the thought process? I mean, you know the battles that you guys have had in your careers against AC. What are you guys thinking going into that match? What's the hope? What's the thought process going into a match like that?
Our thought process originally was, I mean, we played them before, we beat them before, but let's beat them harder. Go in with more, pretty much more might and more power, and that's, I mean, I think exactly what we did.
Dorothy and Haley, really you two in the middle really stepped up in the playoffs. Maybe played your best volleyball of the season in the postseason. Was that just seniors being like, hey, this is our last shot? Was there something else that, triggered that? What do you guys think led to some of that?
We just, I don't know, sometimes you go into practice and you're hitting balls and they're hard, but then you go in the next day and they're a lot harder. And I don't know, we were working really hard and working a lot with our setter, Bretta Campbell, and something just clicked, and that's what happened.
So many younger players on this team. Did anybody surprise you this year? Did anybody step up that you guys maybe were surprised that they stepped up?
I'd definitely say Jordan Best is someone who came in, stepped up. Jordan served for me. She served my rotation, and I am super appreciative of that. Like, she kicked butt in serving and passing. We're really proud of her for stepping up and coming in.
Yeah, she got stuck in some tough situations.
Like every time.
Game point.
Game point. And she'd go in and she'd serve the ball, and she did her job, and we're very proud of that. Yeah.
In the district championship, Ridgeway's up, I think it was 24-21. That's, in the first set. Things could go really wrong if they take that first set. What's going through your guys' minds? I mean, I don't know. Did you guys seen Ridgeway up to that point, or was that the first time you'd seen them? So,
that was the first time.
So you're seeing somebody for the first time. Now they're winning 24-21 in that first set. It's one thing for me to be up broadcasting and trying to analyze what's going on the court, what's going on in the huddle. What are you guys seeing?
Back to the whole tunnel vision thing, we have to just focus in on what we're doing. Be accurate. Don't make errors to the other team when we go out there, because it's so important when you are at 21-24. You can't make that mistake. You can't score that point for them. So you got to go in and you got to be level-headed and play the game.
When you come all the way back and win that 30-28, what does that do for a confidence level?
I think it proved to their team, we're here to fight, and we're not going to give up, even on game point.
Yeah.
As you guys look back through your career, what are some of the moments that stick out the most to you? Allie?
Definitely winning the district title stuck out to me. That was just something I didn't play in 9th grade, so I wasn't a part of that team. So that was really awesome for me to be a part of that.
Lexi?
I agree. I wasn't a part of the team in 9th grade when they won their district title, so this was my first one, which felt good. Yeah.
Dorothy and Haley, you guys were part of that team that came back from 2 sets down to beat AC Valley in one of the most epic volleyball matches I've seen. Obviously I'm going to guess that your senior year title means more to you, but does it?
I'd say in my case, it did, just because, starting out feeling you don't know what's going to happen, and then boom, you're a part of a district title team.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
When you compare last year going maybe a step further in the states but not winning districts versus this year when you win districts but are a step less in the state playoffs, does it make one of those seasons any better to you guys, or are they both equally the same? Do you feel like you accomplished more in one of those years versus the other?
I think, well, last year we didn't win KSAC or district, so, and like no one expected us to be in the Final Four, and like that felt really good for us, but this year winning KSAC and district, it just like, I don't know, it solidified that we found out we can do it.
I think their push last year really proved that Clarion Volleyball team has a big place in the state, championships, and we belong there, and that was a really great, stepping forward moment for us, and we all needed that.
When you think about, you have a 3-loss season, and one of them's to Northern Cambria, and this video is not going to view until after the state championships, but is being recorded before the state semifinals. But there's a state semifinalist team at the very least in Northern Cambria. There's State College, which I think made it to the second round of this. Those are the 2 teams you guys lost to. When you think about that, and I mean, I realized that it was tough on Saturday to lose and to know that your careers were coming to an end, but at the same time, you had to be really proud of the fact that it's not like you guys went out and lost to like bad teams or anything like that.
Yeah.
So true.
Yes, definitely.
We definitely think Northern Cambria has a good shot, and like losing to them, I mean it's tough, but like they're a good team. Like they'll most likely make it to the state finals.
When you guys, the tournaments, you guys play in some tournaments that are unbelievable. Even the tournament here, I was just talking to the sports editor Andy Close from the Warren Times Observer. Does a lot of stuff with us at D9 Sports, and we were talking about how Warren and Northern Cambria and Maplewood, and you guys are seeing all these teams in tournament play. How important is that to creating the atmosphere that gets created around Clarion Volleyball and making you guys better?
Coach is always very specific about who we play because she wants us to play up. She wants us to see those teams that go hard and will challenge us, because I credit that to why we do make it so far a lot of the time, because we've seen that and we've been challenged and we've had to face certain circumstances, and like that's why we do get to where we get in the season, along with our hard work.
When you guys look at, what are some of your quote-unquote behind-the-scenes memories of volleyball?
My favorite's probably when we went to Coach's cabin and
we
jumped off a cliff.
Yes.
Into water.
Yes, into water.
But it was raining like the whole time, so
it was still a good time though.
it was a good time.
It was fun. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
We do a lot of
we
like
do a lot.
team bonding stuff.
We do so many things.
Juniata is always. We just are left to our own at Juniata, and it is so much fun. We get to just be ourselves, and
It's all good. No time is not good.
yeah.
How important is that bonding for a team? I mean, we you hear so much in sports. Is it chemistry that leads to good teams, or is it good teams that lead to chemistry? What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, I've never heard that quote, but I don't know. I agree with both.
Chemistry leads to good teams because Coach always says, like, if you're not a team off the court, like, you're not going to be a team on the court chemistry-wise.
Yeah.
So,
And
like
that's-
family.
Yeah, there's definitely like a level of trust that comes to with that when you spend a lot of time with someone off the court. You just kind of know how they'll be on the court more.
How much of that goes beyond, the high school years? Obviously, you guys are the seniors now, but how much do you guys still keep in touch with the seniors from, say, last year or 2 years ago?
I still talk to them.
So
I
much.
miss them a lot.
Yeah, we
Yes.
do. We miss them.
All the time.
So that really does get into that family atmosphere, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They've been to a couple of our practices, too, and our games. So it's good to see them there. Like, they still support us.
To me it would seem like it's a double-edged sword. Clarion Volleyball being as good as it's been for almost 2 decades now, obviously the expectation level rises around the team, around the program, around the community. Did you guys ever feel any pressure because of that, or was it just go out and do your thing?
There's definitely pressure. There's pressure in anything that you do. But we're so prepared at this time. We do mental training, and that pushes us a long way. And It's just the fact that we have our bonds and you're on the court with each other, and I mean, you look into each other's eyes and you know that it's going to be okay.
The mental training is something that I hear from a lot of you guys over the years. Talk about that a little bit. Like, how to get the players to buy into something like that. You know, I don't know if I would buy into something like that if my boss was like, "Hey, we're going to do some mental training exercises right now." Does it take something to buy into it, or because of people coming before you, did it make it easier?
Definitely people coming before us, because it's just something Clarion Volleyball has done. We go in, coach says, grab your binders, and
we do a lot more of it during like the later part of the season, because we're like in our last moments of playing. So
to have that mental edge to play this sport is very important. Because we see girls on other teams who break down, and we're over there like, let's go, because we've got that edge. So,
You know, some of you play other sports. How much does what you guys learn in volleyball translate into some of what other sports you guys play?
I definitely think that it translates. Just like, especially like peak when we're training a lot, like you're a lot more physically fit, and that definitely translates. Like especially like because I play basketball, and a lot of parallels like jumping highs, things like that are definitely things that help.
Lexi? Well,
track,
you know,
track
jumper
does
over here.
definitely help.
Oh,
It seems like track, Lexi, is a sport that you have to be mentally tough in, because you know, outside of the relays, you're all on your own with something like that. So does some of the mental training that you picked up in volleyball, do you ever find yourself going back to that in track?
I'd say so, yeah. And like track's definitely a totally different vicinity. Like volleyball is a team sport, and track is like individual. Like it's up to you. Like it depends on what you do during your competition that day. So I think the mental training does translate over to track too.
You know, I guess as we wrap this up, if you guys had like one lasting message you'd like, you know, maybe somebody listening who might be coming up through the program to know, what would that be?
Never, ever, ever give up something that you love, because you will regret it, and you never know. It could be your senior year and you let go and then it never happens again. So you just push through any, you know, thing that is going on in your life, no matter what it is. It could be something so small, but you have to know that every day after today is a new day, and that things change.
You'd have no idea that her dad's an immediate guy. The way Dorothy talks, it's definitely in the genes there, Dorothy, to some extent.
Yeah.
I guess, Dorothy, to that, I'm going to put you kind of on the spot at the on the last part of it. Having your dad broadcast some of your games as we went on, you know, first time that we had the opportunity to do that this year, but having your dad there broadcasting some of your games, what did that mean to you?
That meant the world to me. He's involved in so many things, like the college football games, your games, and growing up, you know, I'd travel with him and I'd go watch, and you guys have never done a volleyball game, and, you know, for us to be the first one, that was an amazing experience.
Well, ladies, I really appreciate you taking some time with us to talk about your season. Congratulations on great careers, and good luck in everything you guys do in the future.
Thank you.
Yeah.